What's being covered in this video is how you're going to actually use your Instagram to get new clients for your coaching business. I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to be able to do that consistently and turn your page into a lead machine. I'll break down exactly how I'm using it for my consulting business and how my clients are using it for their coaching business to bring in new clients. So let's just jump right in. Just a little backstory on me. I used to run a 6-figure-a-year content agency where I worked with realtors, investors, financial managers, trucking companies, stock investors, and also stock traders. I ran that agency from 2021 to 2023, and for me, it was always a struggle to get new clients. My number one way of getting clients was always through referrals, and I used to get a lot of them because I did great work and I always kept the clients happy. But when you're running your business off referrals, it's very hard to predict what's actually going to happen the following month. It's not a real way of running a business. Then I learned about cold outreach. And that's where you're either going to cold call, you're going to cold email, or you're going to cold DM people and try to just go out and search for your client. This took me about 4 to 5 hours a day, just scraping through Facebook groups, being on Instagram, just cold DMing anybody that looked like a potential prospect, and I was just trying to get a conversation started. And I would send anywhere between 50 to 100 messages in a day. By the end of the month, that's looking like 1,500 to 3,000 messages. That's a lot of messages. Anyone that has done anything cold, especially cold DMing, they know how much that shit sucks. It's a volume game, and from those 1,500 to 3,000 messages that you send in a month, you'd be lucky if you get 5 to 10% to actually respond, and then an even smaller percentage to become a client. And I feel like before, cold DMing was a little bit easier. Today, people they're not even looking at their inbox. There's been so many people that have, just flooded their inbox with just BS that they don't even want to look at it anymore. You're just going straight to get deleted. I wouldn't wish cold DMing on my worst enemy. I did this for a while, but then I quickly realized I'm not going to be able to scale this, and this is not sustainable. So I'm having to service my clients and do all the work and the deliverables, but then I'm also spending hours a day just cold DMing people, and it was starting to get really, really tough for me. Now, in 2023, after all that, I discovered that I can actually pay to get a client. Once I figured that out, I only stuck to doing ads to get new clients. Here was the issue that I had with ads, though. One, I was kind of scared of using ads because, one, I didn't understand it. To me, it seemed very confusing. I felt like you had to really know a lot to run those ads. You have to know, who specifically to target. And I also thought of it as being just way too much money to invest. Back then, I used to think that you had to invest thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to be able to get a return. And so I honestly had no idea what I was doing. I kind of just stumbled upon some YouTube videos going over how to run them, what the ads could look like, because I didn't know that either. What does the ad look like? I said, fuck it. I gave it a shot, put up about $500 in ads, and within the first month, I was able to get my first new client. 3 months later, I still kept running more ads, still not really knowing what I was doing, but I started getting better and I started getting more clients. That's really what changed my business around. And it clicked to me that I can just control how many clients I want to buy by using ads. So fast forward to 2024 now, I've shut down that agency, and now I do consulting for real estate coaches. And I still run ads to acquire new clients for my consulting business. Now, I get very passionate about this because I ran an agency. I've had the roller coaster months. My mom also had a cleaning business. She went through the same thing. My brother-in-law is a real estate investor. He's had the roller coaster months. My friend Henry, he runs a roofing business. He's also experienced business being up one month, down the next. And when clients work with me, the first thing they tell me is that I'm tired of not knowing if this month will be as good as last month. It's really stressful, and it's a hard way to run a business. And two of the biggest reasons why businesses fail is, number one, they don't have any cash flow. And number two, they don't have any idea where the next client is going to be coming from. That's why I knew that I had to offer my consulting service, knowing what I know, to actually help other business owners, because it was a game changer for me. This is what gives you the predictability in your business. Just imagine that you know that if you put in $500, you can get a client that pays you $3,000 to $10,000. That's how you get the predictability. It literally comes down to a science. And once you learn the skill of getting new clients, acquisitions, you'll never have to wonder where and when the next client is coming. And that's why I'm excited to make this video for you guys, because I've tried a bunch of different ways to acquire new leads over the last 2 years for myself, or I've done it with, current clients, and I've seen firsthand trying to help them how it all works. I've seen it tested or tried every funnel that you can think of. Direct response, VSL, webinar, landing pages, lead magnet campaigns, and what's blown up in the last year, and maybe even a little bit less, that I've been enjoying, and it's really been helping my consulting business, is the social funnel. In this video, I'm going to break down the 4 steps it takes to actually get the social funnel up and running for your coaching business. And if you're watching this, but you're not a coach, well, this is also going to work for any business. I'm just talking about coaches because that's who I work with. But either way, you can take the information and you can enjoy the video. So I know most of you guys are smart that are watching this video. So I assume everybody knows what a funnel is, but just in case, I'm going to break that down. There's 4 different steps to a funnel. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. So the very first step is generating leads, right? All this means is a lead is somebody that you have their information that you're able to contact them. That's all a lead is. It could be you getting the information yourself, or they came to you and gave you the information. Some of the different ways that you could generate leads is you could scrape lists. You could search through Google, like, local businesses that you want to work with. You could do cold outreach, or you could run ads. Step 2 is nurturing the leads. Once you generate the leads, you have to have a way to still overly communicate or put more information in front of them so that they can understand your offer even better and get to know you better. So some of the ways you could do that is you can have them join your Facebook group. You can also have them sign up for email, and you can email them weekly, daily, however you want to do it. There's also BSLs. Those are video sales letters. You can have them join your newsletter. You can have them join your Instagram community. As long as they're following you, they're going to be able to see your content. They'll be able to see your stories. YouTube is another great way, especially YouTube, to nurture because it's long form. People spend more time with you. You can also do X or Twitter. Still really weird to say X. And then, of course, LinkedIn. These are all good ways to get more content in front of them so that they actually start to begin being nurtured and trust you. Then the next step, once they're nurtured and they feel like they're ready, then they're going to go ahead and book a call. Now, all you need is a calendar. You can set this up on any social media profile in your emails. It's just a calendar link where they can go and actually book. It's very, very simple. And then the last part is you want to sell the leads. So they booked the call. Now you're jumping on the call with them either through a phone call or Zoom, and you're going through a discovery, trying to figure out where they're at in their business, where they need help, what's the bottlenecks, what they actually want, and then you offer and you pitch them. All right, so now that I broke down what a funnel is and the 4 steps, now I want to talk about why I like the social funnel over all the other funnels. Number 1, your leads are going to be higher quality because you're doing actual marketing. The problem with all the other funnels like VSL, direct response, webinar funnels, they're very cold, right? So they rely heavily on selling on the back end. So there is no introduction really to who you are and your brand. You watch one piece of content or you read something and you go directly to book a call. The problem with that is that they don't know enough and they don't trust you, right? So that's what's great about the social funnel. You're pre-selling, you're nurturing them. So a lot of it is heavy on the marketing in the beginning. So when it comes time to actual calls, you don't have to sell as much. Number 2, your clients are already pre-sold, so your closing rates are much higher. Again, this goes to to number 1. You have more marketing in place, so they're being sold before they ever decide to jump on a call. If they decide to book a call with you, it's because at that point they're comfortable enough and they trust you enough and they understood a lot of what your content was talking about, and they're really just ready to go. They just jumping on a call really to know what the price is. Number 3, you don't need any huge promises. And same goes for number 4, no crazy guarantees. Alex Hormozi dropped that book, 100 Million Offers. And as soon as he dropped that book, the first thing you started seeing was people putting out crazy promises and crazy guarantees. Things like, oh, I'll get you your first 100 clients within 30 days. If not, I'll wash your car. I'll walk your dog. I'll do this. I'll do that. And, get your money back. You don't need to do all that, because the people that we're dealing with, they don't need a guarantee from us, because we're selling ourselves. We're selling our brand. When you have guarantees and promises, it's because they don't really understand what it is that you're offering, and they don't really trust you. So you have to have that guarantee as a safety net. And ultimately, they're not buying you. They're buying the safety net, the guarantee. So they're saying, well, if it doesn't work out, then I'll just get my money back. There's no trust there. So you don't need to have the guarantee. We're going to build the trust through our content. Now, number 5, the algorithm does the work for you. Now, this social funnel can be used on Facebook. It can be used on Instagram, TikTok, a lot of the social media platforms. The reason why I like Instagram is because it's very easy to get discovered, especially if you're running ads. And then also you have the DMs that is very natural, and people DM all the time on Instagram, where on Facebook, it's not really like that. And then also TikTok, if you've ever used TikTok DMs, you understand it's not the best platform for that. TikTok does really well with just bringing random content to you. Instagram is where you find the people that you really want to learn from. Facebook is more, you have your Facebook groups and stuff like that, but it's usually more people that you know. So with Instagram, like I said, the algorithm will work for you to find new people and help you get discovered. It's very, very good at bringing awareness to your offer and your page. And number 6, you have real clients that are happy and they're easy to work with. This kind of goes back to number 4, not having the guarantees. When you don't have a guarantee and somebody decides to work with you, it's because they watched enough content, they consumed enough of it to know that 1, they like you, and 2, they trust you, right? So it becomes a different relationship with that client, almost to the point where even outside of, the offer that you're giving them and what you're helping them with, you guys can pretty much become friends. It's not like I have a guarantee and you don't trust me, so now you're just coming in to see if it's going to work or not. You actually have people that want to work with you, that like you, they trust you, and that's what makes it better to work with those types of clients. Now, before you actually run the social funnel, there are a couple of things that need to be put in place. So, number 1, you have to get clear on who you're going to serve, right? One group is all you need. So, if you're a real estate coach, for example, are you going to work with agents? Are you going to work with wholesalers? Are you going to work with flippers? Are you going to work with buy and hold investors? They all speak a different language, even though they're in the same industry, right? Flippers and investors might speak a little bit more of the same language, but they're still very different. So you have to pick one group. And this, outside of real estate coaches, you have to think about this as well. Who are you going to serve? Who do you want to speak to? Number 2, you have to have your messaging dialed in, right? This is what gives you the competitive advantage. There can be a lot of different real estate coaches, but if you know how to speak to your specific group, that's what's going to attract them and make them feel like they're understood, right? This is what separates you from everybody else that's selling similar offers. You have to be understanding of what their pain points are, what frustrations they're going through, and then what they actually want and desire, right? So this is really where people will begin to know, like, and trust you. If you speak to exactly what they want and how they feel, they're going to want to work with you over anybody else. Number 3 is an attractive offer. You have to understand what they want and what they don't want, and then build an offer around that. So I'll give you a couple examples, right? Here's a bad offer. I'm going to help you get your next 5 wholesale deals working 15 hours a day. A better offer is I'll help you get your next 5 wholesale deals working 2 hours a day and making larger margins in the deals. If I'm telling you that you could lose weight, but you can still eat pizza, that's a much better offer than me telling you you could lose weight, but you have to give up sugar, carbs, and anything good that you like, right? So if you have a way a specific way that you can get people a result, make sure that you're wrapping that into an offer, right? And then the last part is an optimized Instagram profile. All optimized means is that when you jump on somebody's page, you understand 100% what they're offering, what the page is about, just by looking at their bio, right? So in this case here on my page, I get more clients for real estate coaches with ads and content, not having to shoot and post 24/7. Pretty straightforward. Then I also have a link to my YouTube channel. That way they can get more information, they can get nurtured. But as soon as you come to my page, you understand who it is that I'm working with, what I can do for them, and how I do it. And then there's more information. Also, you want to make sure that you have your picture of your face, right? Not far away. You want it to be close up. You want it to be clean. You want it to look professional. The other thing that would also help is to get verified. Now, not so much for the benefits, because really the back-end support that they're offering is still shit. But this allows other people to know that they're dealing with a real person, because you have to verify your license and you have to show that you're a real person. So that's all this does, just builds more trust, in my opinion. So that's how you optimize your page. And you also want to make sure that you're dropping content and people, they get value from your content as well. All right. So now let's start to get into the actual funnel itself, right? This is the famous social funnel that I keep talking about. Now, the first step is at the very top. This is TOF, stands for top of funnel, right? And basically, all we're going to be doing here is we're going to be creating awareness and getting attention on our offer by running ads. Most people, what they're doing is they post content and they do it organically, and they're just waiting for the algorithm to bring them to the right people, right? To bring them new clients, bring them new future prospects. And if you're like me and you've been posting for a long time on social media, then you understand that's not exactly how it works. And even today, it's harder and harder to get the reach that we want and be in front of the right people. So we're not trying to go viral, because going viral doesn't put you in front of the right people. It does get you attention, but it's not the attention that you want. So we post organically, and then we run ads to our content. So a lot of the ads that we're running are necessarily just our content that we've posted on our page. So one of the first ads that we want to run is a value-driven ad, right? So all this is in the beginning, you're going to call out your prospect, you're going to educate them or give them some sort of value, and then you're going to have a call to action where you're just going to tell the people to follow your page. Again, this could be a reel that's already posted on your page. All we're doing here is we're going to be boosting every single ad. And by boosting, it's just putting a couple of dollars behind it. It can be anywhere from 10 to 20, 25. Obviously, the more you invest into the ads, the more people you're going to get on your offer, the more attention you're going to bring, and ultimately book more sales, right? It's that simple. You spend more, you get more. But you don't have to spend a lot of money to start. You can start with $10, $20, $25, and you can start to get people coming to your page, following you, and start getting nurtured by the content. Now, the second type of ad is going to be offer-driven. This is going to be a little bit less educational, and it's going to dig more into the pain point of your prospect. And then at the end, you're just going to say, look, if you want help, then go ahead and follow my Instagram page. And maybe you came here from one of my ads, and now you're here watching my YouTube video. So that's just the way the ads work. Then the next type of ad is going to be the carousel ad. And what that looks like here, I'll show you real quick. It's just one of these where it's multiple pages, and you're just kind of going through, giving them some value. And then at the end, you'll see here, there's also a call to action. Shoot me a follow, go through my past and future content if you want to learn more about this strategy called the social funnel. So I can run this as an ad, and then when people see the last page, they're going to go and follow. So that's a carousel ad. And usually, like I said, they're graphics. You're educating somebody, you're giving them value, and then at the end, you're just going to have the call to action to follow. Then the last type of ad, if you have any testimonials or case studies, these are very, very good ads to run because, one, you're showing social proof, and two, people want to see the transformation. As much as I'm showing you the social funnel and everything, you don't really care about this if I were to get you results, right? What you care about is getting more clients into your coaching program, which is what I'm promising. The way I do it may not necessarily matter as long as you're getting the result. So it's the same thing whenever you're selling anything. You want to sell the transformation, not the actual features, right? So when you're doing a testimonial or case study, you're showing somebody else that got the transformation that you promised. So that's very, very enticing to new future prospects. You're basically that bridge to get them from A to B. Now, this is the middle of the funnel. Once they watch our ad, they're going to start to come to our page, check it out, and then ultimately become a follower. When they come to your page, you want to make sure that you already have content. You don't need to have a bunch of content, but at minimum, if you haven't really been posting anything as of recent, I would say to bring up at least 9 different pieces of content so it fills up your grid. And then it's enough content to where people can kind of scroll through, consume a little bit, and see, okay, I want to follow this person. So you want to make sure that you are putting reels out there. You're putting out carousels. You want to be putting out content on Instagram. This is going to help with the nurturing. The second thing you want to be doing is combining your Instagram content with long-form content, and we're going to be using YouTube to do that. So just like I showed you on my page over here, I have a link in my bio that goes directly to my YouTube channel, and that's done on purpose. I want people that when they get to my page, they see all the value that I give on Instagram. But the problem with Instagram is that I can't really go into depth of certain topics for 60 seconds. It's hard to build that trust just by Instagram. I can show up every day and you'll see me, but the problem is there's not enough time there for me to really teach you and you to spend time with me. On average, it takes about 7 hours of consumed content for somebody to actually feel like they trust you and they're ready to kind of move to the next step of possibly working with you. You can't possibly do that with Instagram. On YouTube, you have 10 to 20-minute videos where you can actually do that, and they can consume maybe 20 of your videos, and now you're getting closer to that 7-hour point. With YouTube, you want to be posting educational videos, much like I'm doing here where I'm teaching you guys something like the social funnel for your business. The other thing you can do as well that works well is podcasts. Podcasts are usually 2-3 hours long. They spend a lot of time with you. They get to know, like, and trust you more. And that's the great thing about video, right? With video, you can see me, you can hear me, and you can tell whether you like me or not right off the bat. If it's just images, it's very hard to get that kind of personal touch. So you want to make sure that you're putting out videos on Instagram and YouTube. Now, once you have enough followers and you have the audience that you're looking for, the targeted audience that you just paid for through ads, you want to start hitting them with retargeting ads. And same thing with these. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can start spending $5, $10, $15, $20. But all this is doing is just putting you in front of them even more. And you want to do this with a direct offer. So we don't want to get educational. We don't want to drop a ton of value. Here we're just saying, hey, this is how I can help. This is my offer. This is my promise. If you're ready, go ahead and send me a message or go ahead and book that call. It's straight to the point. Now, the other thing you want to be doing too that I didn't mention on Instagram, not just posting reels, but also your stories. Stories is the best way to see what you're doing in your day-to-day, the best way to show your personality, and just show people like the behind the scenes of what is actually going on and who you are. A lot of our content, I don't want to say polished, but it's very planned out, and you know what you're recording beforehand, and it's different. It's planned out. With your stories, it's not as planned out. You're showing yourself maybe with family. You're showing yourself out at the park. You're showing that you're working on something. You know, maybe you're showing that you're working with clients. Your stories is another way for them to look into you to see if they're going to like you and trust you. So make sure that you're posting anywhere from about 3 to 5 stories a day. Now, this is why Instagram works really well. Because once you have these new followers coming in, we're going to DM every single follower. You want to have a way so that they can inbound, or you want to just outreach to them. So all that means is a new follower comes in, I'm going to reach out to them and I'm going to send them a message. Hey, thanks for following. I appreciate the follow, and I'm just trying to get a conversation started. The retargeting ads, you can have them directly run that ad and have them send you a message so that now they're DMing you directly for more information. So again, when I mentioned in the first step of the funnel, it's a way to have a person's information and to be able to reach out to them. That's what Instagram does really, really well. And what we're doing is we're trying to qualify people, right? So whether we reach out to them or they're reaching out to us, we want to have a conversation to qualify them, see where they're at in their business, see what they need help with, and see if we can actually help them. If we feel like they're a good fit, then we're going to take them to the next part where we're going to have them book an actual call. Once they book that call, that's where we're going to spend more time with them. Usually, these sales calls can be anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes. And we're going to get into the discovery, figure out what problems they're having, what are the bottlenecks, what have they already tried to do, where do they want to take their business, what's the goal? And then you see if you can actually help that person, and you give them your offer, you pitch them your service, and just close them as a client. So that is the social funnel. It's very, very simple. We run some ads at the top to get attention on our offer and our Instagram page. We're essentially building a community. Now, the best part about this is that, again, we're trying to build trust over time. So these people could start following, let's say today. They might not buy this week or next week or the week after. But from now until the next 3 to 6 months, they're going to be watching you and consuming your content. So we're building an audience and a community of potential prospects from now and in the future. So again, they might not necessarily want to buy right now. You're getting them ready for them to buy. And they're going to be consuming, and trust me, they're going to be watching. So we're running the ads to get that attention. They're going to become a follower. We want a way that we can nurture them through more content, long-form content on YouTube, and then once we're ready, at a certain point, we run the retargeting ads. Then we reach out to them, try to qualify them, get them on a booked call, jump on that call, and now they become a client. It's that simple. Now, that's exactly how the social funnel works. As you can see, it's not super complicated. There's no landing pages we have to build out. There's no webinar that we have to prepare. The social funnel is simply run ads to get the attention. Have content ready for them once they actually reach your page. Nurture them with content on Instagram, YouTube, and retargeting ads. Reach out to them, see what they need. And last part, just close them and onboard them. This is exactly what I've been using for my consulting agency, and now getting leads is easy, educating them is easy, the show rates for the calls have gone up a ton, and what we were getting before was around 40%. So for every 10 people that were booking, only about 4 people were showing up. Now it's much closer to 80. So now we're getting 8 out of 10 people. The clients that are joining, they're really, really good people. They understand the process. They see all the value in the information up front. They get to know me, and they get to decide whether they like me or not from just watching my longer form content. Those that don't like me, they don't book. And those that do, they book. It's really that simple. I can't please everybody. I can only be myself and hope that everybody likes me. They tell me, Andres, I've checked out all your stuff. I love what I'm seeing. And really, I just want to know if I can afford to hire you. What does that look like? That's the beauty of the social funnel. They go and they get heavily marketed by you to the point where all they need to know now is how much does it cost and can I afford it? They're even more sold on it because what I'm teaching them is exactly what got them through the door and into hiring me. So, of course, they're going to be more sold on it. Where lead generation was their biggest bottleneck, that now gets solved with the social funnel, and then they get to the point where they're going to get more leads than they can actually handle. And then we solve the next bottleneck, and so on and so forth. So the point of this video was to share the overview of what the actual social funnel blueprint looks like. And then ultimately, without my help right now, you can start to implement this into your business today. Your lead generation problem can really just be a thing of the past. Start creating some ads, get some content out there, reach out to new leads, and then close them. Now, if you want to move faster and you're ready to fix your coaching business, then the best way to reach me is through Instagram. Just shoot me a follow, shoot me a DM, let's connect. I'd love to speak with you, kind of see where you're at, and see if we're a good fit for each other. This is my Instagram handle if you want to reach out, and thank you for watching this video. I hope you got a lot of value out of it, and I will see you on Instagram.